This is an instructional video on how to play against Spider Aggro with Swim's Pool Shark Grand Plaza deck. As you can see, when you're looking at some of the win conditions, then Spider Aggro deck can have some early board damage by playing a 1 or 2 or 3 drop, getting Board Swarm with cards that summon multiple units per 1 action, and also over the top damage with Darius, Crowd Favorite, Captain Ferran, or other overwhelm effects that you might see in the Noxus region. Whereas usually Pool Scouts win by doing some sort of mid-range value trade, something like Grand Plaza on 3 and then playing a power 4 drop like Grizzled Ranger or Island Navigator to make some sort of value trade. And giving yourself some sort of mid-range advantage to then do some over-the-top rally, scouts, burst, especially if you have Relentless Pursuit in hand. However, when you're playing against the aggro matchup, something that's often really important in the early turns is playing a 1 or a 2 drop to stop that early aggression. One thing to also take note of during your latter games is that your opponents will tech in cards simply because they either have the card or they'd rather play this card instead. And if you look at the net deck that I posted, my opponent in-game plays Legion Rearguard, even though that's not in that net deck found on Mobalytics. So here are some other Noxus region spells that you gotta look out for in spots, just so you don't lose instantly if you can play around them. But sometimes you don't have that ability. Chain Fist should be okay here. Chain Vest is a maybe, I'm not quite too sure, but let me pull up the pass. Obviously, if he doesn't have a 1-drop, I don't need to throw away my Pull Shark.
Reporting in?
So he does, so I need to play this guy so I don't instantly fold to an open attack 3 damage. In this spot, the only reason we play Pull Shark is that my opponent played a 1-drop. Otherwise, I'd be fine with symmetrical passing because in most cases, whatever card I'm going to draw off that Pull Shark is going to be discarded. However, if they play a 1-drop, I have to play something to block it in case they do an open attack. It might also still be good to play Pull Shark and place it in case they play something like House Spider on turn 2, but I wasn't as worried about that since I have 2 2-mana 2/3s in hand. Get a good card too. That's kind of nutty, but so he plays Elise. Not much to do other than play this card.
Okay, ready.
Block both. To Chain Vest or not to Chain Vest. This is not a high value Chain Vest. You're using 1 mana to save a 1-drop. That's not really that good. Okay. So this is a fun opening. I've only taken 2 damage and he only has an Elise up on a 1-drop. Oh, when we draw Plaza too. Pretty pricey playing Plaza. I think the one time I didn't play Plaza, I instantly lost when it was fleeting. If I had a second one, I could consider playing a Fortune Cooker, but it's still probably not the best play. Okay, obvious pass.
Who's my favorite?
So this guy's also not playing
Yes.
like a super copied deck that he could probably play like a community. So the question is, do you sharp sight and kill the Elise? And I think the answer is definitely yes. I mean, not only do you block 4 damage, you kill an Elise. Alright, so I tallied up the damage about this point. So if I hadn't played anything on turn 1, 2, and 3, because most people like to skip all 3 turns, dropping your Plaza on turn 3 and then dropping a 4 on turn 4, and assuming that your opponent opened attacks on turn 4, this guy would have dealt 15 damage because on turn 2 he had an Elise and a Spider and a rear guard. We ended up blocking about 4 damage by blocking the Spider and the rear guard, and then on turn 4 he had Elise plus the Spider, and then the House Spider plus the small Spiderling, which would have been 9 damage, and we blocked 4 because we blocked the Elise. So at this point in the game, we'd only have about 5 Nexus health, and it's not uncommon to see in those colors some sort of over-the-top, whether it's a 5-mana deal 4 Decimate, plus, you know, hit with 1 Spiderling, or a Decisive Maneuver, or some sort of other combat trick, plus X, Y, or Z. Do I play a 2-3 out? I think the answer is definitely yes as well. Oh, no, or do we save the Relentless? I think because we have Relentless in hand, we keep. But otherwise, this would be a great opportunity to just tempo out a 2-drop. Hearthstone Tactics. Okay, well, it's glad that he's showing pretty weak hand. Now, if I had scouts, this Misfortune play would look pretty okay. But I think realistically, you just play Quinn and call it a day. They're like of equivalent value. I mean, isn't Island Navigator the same thing as Quinn?
Every wave is a path.
In this spot, at least. But I get to keep 1 extra mana for Chain Vest, which can be actually important here, because the extra damage doesn't matter. Usually I was about to like play Quinn for sure, but yeah, because even if I play Quinn, the guy still gets stunned. It doesn't change the play.
Something to keep us.
So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Probably kill a 2/1, honestly, because that's fearsome. Kill a 2/1.
Like this.
So I'm still kind of screwed, by the way. Some 2 spiders, that's fine. That only represents 2 damage. So Brothers Bond is kind of a EX card, or top decking 5 mana deal 4 in the spot. He should obviously open attack, and I block the 3/2. And what's the other option? Not blocking, dying to most things off the top. Okay, well it's either I'm dead or he's dead here. I might be priced in since I have this guy. Do I play? No, that can't be right. I think I play Quinn and then I
Nothing
rally
gets
in this
between
spot.
me and my mark.
We'll find our enemies wherever they hide.
I almost don't want to rally now if that's his top deck. Because I need to kill him. Let's do it. Start clearing up this board. We'll sack Valor into that guy, so I'll track like this
Just
first.
like hunting thresher geese.
This is fine. I can always kill a 2/2 later. Like on the literal next swing. I just need to think it out first. Well, that would have been a good rationale to kill the 2/2, but spilled milk.
Scouting ahead.
But that's really good. He's not going to get 5 damage off the top unless he gets Glimpse and then somehow gets lethal. But I don't think that's going to happen. So Misfortune's nuts here, by the way.
Fortune favors the
He can
bold.
still kill me if I don't get anything good.
I salute.
Crowd favor.
If I kill you, I don't fortune.
We do this. Sharp sight can't be great in this spot. I think I do this.
Fresh out of mercy. Just like hunting thresher geese.
Oh, I hear them.
I think we just need to kill that guy. And hope we live 2 turns. He's played a very board-centric deck so far. Like what? Captain Pharaoh top deck? I mean, he's playing on the top deck. Like, if he draws Elise, he dies, right? So,
Love ya.
I just can't actually let the 6/5 on board live.
Hell of a
Insta
day.
lose.
They will bleed for Noxus. I have my orders.
It's 10 damage.
Grace.
For silver I talk, for gold I listen.
That wasn't the top deck I'm looking for.
Death by my hand.
Do I take 5 or do I take 4? I don't know how this works. I take 4. Okay. Yes. I mean, he either has it or he doesn't have it. I have to develop. Okay. This.
I don't change fate, and I can see it.
And that's cute.
It's our time to shine, Valor. Still heart, steady aim. Where Valor goes, victory follows. Valor, to me!
I mean, unless he's like slow rolling me, this guy's definitely dead here.
Val!
Okay. And that should be the end of the game. Unless I am mistaking some math here. I don't want him to block the 4 damage, so I drag with both of the 3 damage guys. So that should be GG.
Fly swiftly, kill swiftly. Mwah.
It's a tight game. Did all the correct outs.
Fortune smiles.
If you got the best, this is your turns right here. Look at that.
What is this based off?
Look at all these choices, guys. Yeah, look at this, guys. Like, for especially everything.